So, John, how was your trip? You're back
For a bit.
for a bit. You're going again, right?
I leave tomorrow for another trip.
So
Is it?
where were you and where are you going?
This time I was in Halifax for a friend's wedding. So that's Halifax, Nova Scotia. I had a bunch of people asking me, like, wait, do you mean Halifax in the UK? I'm like, no. East Coast Canada.
Where is Halifax in the UK?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But I had a couple of people ask me, like, wait, what are you doing in the UK? I'm like, no, East Coast.
Okay.
Was it nice? Was it like in the East Coast in October?
It was actually fall.
Okay, what is it? Wait, what is it like where you are?
Well, where I am right now, it's trying to be fall, but
Yeah.
it'd probably skip to winter in like a moment's notice.
It's like gray right now. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird. All life and color is gone from Calgary, Alberta.
It's only colorful for like 3 months, anyways.
That's true. You had a good time in Halifax?
Yeah, rented a car, drove around a bunch.
Oh, nice.
Got to hang it with a bunch of my high school friends because they were also in town for the wedding.
That's cool.
Okay. How long had it been since you've seen them?
Two of them, including the groom, about 7 years,
Oh, wow.
and one of them about 11.
Were you the best man?
No, there was no best man.
Were you a groomsman?
No,
You were a bridesmaid?
I was one of. I was one of the guys who got to stand in the back and
Cool.
watch.
Cool.
That's about it.
Did you know the groom? You knew the groom, right? But did you know the bride?
Yeah. Nope, first time meeting the bride.
Okay, cool. Do you think it's going to work
Did you
out?
object when they asked?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Okay.
and no one did because I felt like that would be the most tactless thing to do. Would just be like, I haven't seen you guys in years, so sell me on your case again.
This is where you go. I object. We used to hang out all the time, but as soon as she came in, all you wanted to do was spend time with her.
And that was how I got kicked out of a wedding.
Yeah.
And where are you going tomorrow?
I'm going to Portland for the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Portland's a cool city.
I've never been.
Are you going
Is
to
it
try to
direct-
take in the
direct flight?
sights, or are you working the whole time?
This is not a work trip. This is for fun.
Oh, nice.
So you're going to go to that arcade.
We will see. You're gonna have to tell me the name of that thing again, like after, so I can write it down.
Okay. I have to remember it too.
Yeah. Curious to check it out. I'm gonna pick up a bunch of games for streams. I hear the Tetris World Championships happen at this convention, so I'm curious to watch that.
Wow. Okay.
If this is like free time, what made you pick Portland?
Because a bunch of friends I know are going.
Okay.
They are doing panels, so I'm like, oh, all right. Well, they convinced me to go, so now I'm going.
Are you talking about like Brutal Moose and Pro Jared and all them?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Bruno Moose was actually pushing pretty hard to get a bunch of us to go, so
Okay.
and I caved. I can't say no to him. It's a terrible, terrible problem.
It's a terrible problem. Have you ever heard of Happy Console Gamer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to be there too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, what convention is this again?
I guess that makes sense because Happy Console Gamer is just in Alaska. So,
No, that's Happy Video Game Nerd.
oops! Oh, damn it!
Happy Console.
Happy Console Game is BC, right?
BC Vancouver specifically, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember.
So that
yeah.
would be the one that one of my friends was in their video. Okay. Or he was
Yeah.
in their movie rather.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie. Jesus, that was something. Schlock to the 10th degree, but you could
I'm
tell
pretty
they
sure
loved
that was-
it. Well, they love
Yeah.
doing it, right? That's why they did it that way. Johnny and Rob. Anybody who hasn't seen them should probably go check them out. They're kind of cool, the guys. Anyways, so you're going Tetris Championships? Like
I'm
tournament?
gonna like watch. I might
Oh.
try my luck, but I know that I'll get destroyed. That's not the plan. It's just more of, oh hey, that's here. Let's see what happens.
What's
you
the
th-
convention again?
Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Okay.
Usually the creator of Tetris goes to it, so Alexei Pajinov, I can never say his name right.
Is it big? I haven't heard of this.
Apparently it's decently big. This is my first time going, so I don't know what
How
to
many
expect.
people? Any idea?
No idea.
No.
It's a 2-day convention, so it's Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Would you say Tetris is the best video game ever made?
It's pretty high up there.
Okay. Well, that's probably a good thing to say because Tetris is a video game, and we talk about those here on the Top Down Perspective.
Boom!
It is
Nice.
October 16th, 2014. I am hosting today, I suppose, Paul, and with me is Proton John.
Hello.
And Sean _ Booker.
Yeah. What?
That was your nickname in high school, right? Sean _ Booker.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. No, you got it. Yeah.
Better than being
They called me the underscore. Yeah.
Better than being a hashtag.
I guess so.
No.
Yeah. Like when it comes to like keyboard symbols, no one wants to be hashtag.
But people want to be tilde. That's what it is.
Tilde. Yeah.
Sean, what have you been playing this week?
What have I been playing?
Yes.
I've been finishing up games. That's what I've been doing.
All right.
Hitman Go. It's all done.
Oh man. Okay.
What'd you think?
That game's great. I want another one.
It's really good.
It takes up way too much space on my phone, so I had to delete it.
How big is
Aw.
it?
It's like a gig.
Really?
That's actually, yeah. Is that including the DLC or what?
Well, there is no DLC. There's a box that says like coming soon, but nothing came out while I was playing, so I don't.
Oh,
like the first 5 stages, I guess, and I don't know, and the blood money part. I don't know if that counts in the first 5, but anyway, yeah, that game's a gig. So I would totally want a sequel to that game.
Sure.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a ton. Nothing more to say. That game's great. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Finished up that on the weekend.
Okay. Did it blow your mind?
It's so good.
Okay.
It is so good. And
All right. So did it get? Because I heard complaints about the ending, and you're telling me this is not the case.
like, I'll say like a lot of the big twists happen in like the first half of it, because that's when the mystery. But in the second half is they're like solving the mystery. So I'd say less crazy stuff happens in the second half.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say it gets bad in the second half. And there is one like final twist in the last witch trial, like the big witch trial to determine everything. There's a twist that happens that is real good, and that game is such a perfect example of a good use of the crossover between 2 games. And I don't want to get too into it because it'll spoil some really cool events, but it's just those two game series play off each other in such smart ways. I reviewed it. My review's on Comic Book Bin if people want to see more in-depth stuff. That game is so good. John, I wish you would play through it so I could talk to someone about it.
Well, it's the next game I'm going to play once I've cleared up Smash. So
that would be really cool. I would so love for you to play through that whole thing. It's it's kind of long. It took me about 24 hours to go through it. But the pacing's real good because they keep jumping back and forth between 2 different genres. So, and it gets your hooks into you in that first half. So it's a good foot forward.
Would you say this is a better crossover than the Jetsons and the Flintstones?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Okay, what about Family Guy and Simpsons?
I didn't watch that, so I'm just going to say
I still
this is better.
either.
But you watched that intro video, which is great.
That's just because
okay.
we like Don Hertzfeld.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a little too long.
Yeah.
So that game's real good. I highly recommend it.
Cool.
Probably my favorite Layton game.
Okay.
Just putting that out there. Yeah.
That's strong words.
To be fair though,
you.
like I also like Phoenix Wright, so kind of unfairly it just gets a bump because it's like, oh, this is 2 games I like in one.
Sure. Okay.
So, but definitely it's definitely high up there on the Laytons, and I like it a lot more than the last few.
Okay.
I finished up Forza Horizon 2.
All right.
Reviewers of that up on Comic Book Bin as well. That game's great. It's great on its own. I prefer the first game. The first game I just felt was like more stylish. I liked the track list. Again, this is a lot of just kind of personal opinions on this. I prefer the track list in the first game. And in the online play, the first game had challenges similar to Burnout Paradise, like co-op stuff, like everyone do this thing. Everyone do like donuts at the same time to beat the challenge. Challenges are not in Forza Horizon 2, which is kind of a bummer. Also, a lot of the showcase events where you're like racing hot air balloons and stuff, which are totally fun. A lot of them are repeats from the first game. So, on its own, Forza Horizon 2 is a great game. It looks fantastic. I mentioned in my review, I think the Horizon part of the name comes from all the gorgeous sunsets you're going to be driving around with. But I just preferred Forza Horizon 1.
Did you have to put on sunglasses while playing the game?
No, but a lot of times, like, the sun will just be totally blown out in front of you. Everything's gold, and there's like an emphasis on off-road racing. So, like, I would say half of my races, you're just like barely maintaining control as you're like sliding your way through like cornfields and stuff, while other cars are just driving crazy fast around you, just trying to point yourself in the direction of the next smoked checkpoint. It's great. That game's a ton of fun. So. And then on the other side of the fun meter, I'm started up Hyrule Warriors.
The other side of the fun meter. Wait.
Yeah.
You're not liking it then?
No, I hope it gets better.
Okay.
How far are you into it?
I was just playing it now, and I beat level 3.
It doesn't get better. It stays. It's a Dynasty Warrior games. It's the same.
I would like to say everything around the part where you're playing it is cool, like buying weapons, equipping different weapons with different stats, making badges.
Sure.
That's all great. That's cool. And then you play the game and it is so boring.
This is why every time we brought up the game, we asked, do you like Dynasty Warriors?
I like Legend of Zelda a lot.
That doesn't answer
when you started the game, and it's like, hey, what control style do you want? Do you want Warriors or Zelda? I selected Warriors because I didn't know what they meant, and then I realized, wait, no, I like Zelda, and then I switched it back.
I think that's just a control scheme thing, though.
Yeah,
I know. Changes like the face buttons. That's it.
Yeah,
you're right. It is so hard to go play that game. I don't want to play it anymore, but I have to.
If you're only at mission 3, you've got a long way to go.
I know, and I was playing yesterday, and I died on mission 3, and it was just like,
wait, what?
Like the Deku tree burned too fast.
Okay, no, never mind. That happened to me too. I got confused for a second there. Like I thought you actually.
I didn't actually die. I don't think I've lost. I lost one time. I lost a significant amount of hearts was when I beat up the cuckoo a lot.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually right. You need to even do that for an achievement, is get killed by the cuckoo.
Oh, okay. I didn't get killed by it, but anyway. Yeah, it's like there's so many things going on screen. Like specifically with this Deku mission, it's like, oh man, the Deku thing lit on fire, and it's like, well, why? Because I didn't own enough bases or something.
That's plot element.
I was too no because when the Deku tree died, I lost the mission.
Oh, you mean died? Yeah, it actually lighting on fire is part of the story.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I was fighting the big spider, and I was literally one hit away from killing it. When it's like, oh, the Deku tree totally burned, and it's like,
I think
you want me to play that again? Not happening.
Well, no, that's why they had checkpoints. Like this. I think old DW games did not have checkpoints. This one does.
I've noticed that. Yes, he starts up halfway through, and that's why I was able to quickly beat it while we were setting up. But it's like, I guess the Deku tree died because I didn't own enough control points. But you know what? I was fighting this giant spider, so I'm a little busy. Like, calm down.
That spider is a pain in the ass because there is a chance you can't even hurt him. Which is really
well. You have to wait
annoying.
for his eye to turn blue, and then you shoot the boat. I like the fact that they're using use the weapon that you got in this map to fight the boss.
Sure,
great Zelda. They're doing a lot of this game is total Zelda fan service. They're just hey,
exactly.
Did you guys like Ocarina of Time? I hear you guys fucking love Ocarina of Time. This is basically Ocarina of Time 2, but it's just kind of not fun. But we know you like seeing and hearing Ocarina of Time. So here you go.
Not wrong.
And hey guys, Sheik is actually Zelda.
What?
Oh shit, spoilers.
Why would you say that?
You ruined the game.
I did, sorry. all my question. I'm just wondering, why doesn't Link remember that? What's up with that?
Because this is a different Link. Remember,
It's always a different
No,
Link.
I know. I'm just being silly. Yeah, John, I understand you're playing it.
Yeah, like right now.
Yep. What's up with
Because
that?
the DLC just came out, so I'm trying it out.
Okay.
So 3 new playable characters, and I air quote new because they're just characters that you see in the game that you couldn't play originally.
Okay. Who are they? I probably
Uh,
haven't seen them.
They're the bad guys.
Okay. I don't think I've seen any bad guys yet. So
If you are in mission 3, you've already fought 2 of them.
was it a goblin? Like a goblin?
No, you would.
Was it that skeleton knight? Was it the
Volga?
big spider?
No, it's not the bosses.
Okay.
Remember the giant, the fire knight you fight, Volga?
Oh, in the very first one.
Yeah,
Yes.
and remember the Wizro in the second one?
No,
Is
he was in the third one.
No, he's in the second mission.
He's totally in the third one because you have to
He's-
run at him
he's-
and then he
he's-
disappears.
He's actually in all 3,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
the only time you actually have to fight him is the second one.
Okay. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Man, this game.
I don't know. I'm like right now. I'm riding around on Epona fighting. So,
Okay. Wait, who's the third character?
the main villain, I guess you could say. You haven't technically met her
Okay.
yet.
Don't spoil it because I got it. Something has to.
Actually, I
hook
think
me
you
about
meet
this
her
game.
in the next thing.
You meet her in
So-
mission 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, come on, get me excited to play
like,
this game.
the
What
plot-
else you got?
The plot essentially kicks in the upcoming mission that Sean's
Yeah.
about to get to.
Okay, are there still like 9 control points that I have to go fight the stupid control
Yes,
boss?
that is
I have to-
Dynasty Warriors.
I have to run into the room.
You
is
will be
Dynasty.
doing
Then I
that
have
for
to
the
hit-
rest of your life. in
I
this
have to
game.
hit like 80 guys like 4 times for that bar to go down before the super easy boss commando dude comes up, and then I hit him, and it's like, oh, now the crystal's blue. Do that like 7 more times, or the Deku tree is gonna burn.
Yeah, isn't it great? Game of the year.
No, it's not great. That is not what it is. Where's
So
my
you're having 0 fun.
No, that's not true. Badge crafting is totally fun. Where's my badge crafting game?
So you were literally telling me you're having fun playing everything but the game itself.
Yeah, no, like the customization stuff is totally cool, and it's like, and there's like a skill tree that you're unlocking based on the materials you're collecting. Yeah, that stuff's great. I just like. Good thing this game's easy. Like I can hit. I don't know if you guys know this. I can hit B, like no one's business.
Well, that's good
I have
because
a-
that's not the attack button.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is B.
No, it's not. It's a Y and X.
No, it's not. It's B.
Oh, it's because you're using the other control scheme.
What are you using? Are you using Warriors?
I think I'm using Warriors.
I'm using
Okay, well,
Warriors for sure.
Because you guys just love Dynasty Warriors. What are you doing?
No, because I'm used to Dynasty Warriors control, so playing a Dynasty Warriors game, I want to.
How are you more used to Dynasty Warriors than Legend of Zelda?
They changed 4 buttons, Sean. It's not that complicated.
You're the one that got it wrong. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm good at hitting any button. You give me a button, and I can hit the hell out of that button.
Why?
I can hit the Y button.
Okay,
I don't use it that often.
right. That's why when it comes up on those QuickTime events in games, you're just like, oh shit for a second, because that's the button.
No, I know where it is. I got the
No,
muscle memory.
of course you know where it is, but that's a button that you don't usually use. A lot of, anyway.
Okay. This is such a silly
This
conversation.
is so
It's
stupid.
very silly.
Okay, so you're not enjoying it then? Just
Not yet, but you're playing as a horse, or you're riding a horse?
Yeah, one of the Link's
Can
new
anyone
DLC
ride the
weapon-
horse?
You have to buy the DLC.
Yeah, but like, can any of the characters ride the horse, or is it specific to Link?
I believe it is specific to Link.
Okay. What is
I
Can you move faster? Because Link is kind of slow.
Yes,
Okay, that's cool.
mainly because you're on a horse.
Good. No, that's great. Does the horse walk and then run, or does it just always run?
You can feed it carrots, just like in Ocarina of Time. to make it
Oh
go
man,
faster.
that's right. Everything Ocarina of Time. Okay. I wish Link always ran. Just always.
sure.
Eventually you get a combo that if you hold down a specific button, you'll just run all the time, and that's
That's
what you
great.
do as Link.
I want that.
You'll go like YYX, or in your case, I guess BBY, and then you'll hold down Y and you'll run. What is your heavy attack button?
Why? Well, X is an attack button if I fill up that meter.
Oh yeah, no, that's A for me. So basically, I think all the buttons moved like clockwise one, something like that.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah, because A is my roll.
I think that's B for me.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, okay.
All right, so that's it? That's all you've been playing?
That's all I've been playing, yeah.
John, what about you?
Hyrule Warriors, I'm playing it right now. I beat my first mission playing as Epona.
Okay.
The DLC apparently added 5 new story missions, a second adventure map, which that frightens me because that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, let me just give me 1 second. I'll load it up right now because I want to double check here.
Yeah.
So if
I
I
don't
go
even know
to
what
if I go to
that is yet.
adventure mode, I have 3 options right now. I have the normal adventure map, which is the one that comes with the game.
Sure.
The rewards map, which if you fill out a picture that the gold Skulltillas make, you unlock.
Oh, I have a
And that-
question about that. Hang
Yeah.
on. Are they always under a rock?
No.
Oh, okay. Because for the past 2, they've been or past like 3, they've been under a rock, and it was like, this is great. This is gonna make finding them real easy.
Eventually, they're gonna be. You're gonna need the hook shot to get them and stuff like that.
Okay.
I will tell you this right now. Have you noticed that the music goes silent when you're near them?
Yeah, and the scritchy noise.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get used to that because eventually they start widening the field that they'll be in.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I can just run around the field more. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
not doing enough of that. Perfect. And the whole, like, they're only there for a set time, so it's like, oh, yeah, okay.
yeah. That's the pain in the ass later on too. But and if they run
This
away,
game-
you have
I'm
to
just-
redo the mission.
This game's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm just
And
gonna
here's another thing I'll warn you right now. I know you're not going for completion, so you probably won't even bump into this. But eventually you'll do missions where there are 2 Skulltillas per
Okay.
map, but you can only get 1 at a time.
That's
like-
the worst. Oh my gosh. That is
Yeah.
such. Oh wow.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that is dumb. That is actually really dumb.
Oh my gosh. This seems like it'd be such a good podcast game.
It is. That's why I'm playing it
Yeah.
during the podcast.
Yeah. Good. Well, actually, when we were starting up, a big info dump on story happened, so I'm actually kind of regretting that I played that. Can have to like YouTube it or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, so
I'm just-
Hyrule Warriors.
how much is the DLC? Do you recommend it? Have you played enough of it?
I bought this. I literally just turned it on because it
Okay.
came out today. So the today's DLC pack added 16 costumes, 1 for each character, something like that. A bunch of 8-bit weapons, and a bunch of other things that I'm not aware of. Like the 3 new characters. Epona as a weapon. I know that from here on out, it's going to add, I think, another 4 to 6 characters, more weapons, more adventure mode maps. I just loaded up
Man, like there's only so much stuff in Ocarina of Time. Where are they going to pull more stuff from?
the other packs are, I think, named like Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's correct.
Yeah, I just loaded up the Master Quest map right now, and what I'm seeing on here is more or less all the costumes that you get in the pack are on this map. So you need to unlock all the costumes you get from buying the DLC.
They should give me a Wind Waker pack. Although I probably wouldn't buy it anyway, but I'd be happy that it exists.
The only packs I like, there's a Majora's Mask one. I think that's the very last one.
In that one, do you get to be a Zora with a fish guitar?
No one knows. They haven't said who the 2 characters they're adding for that pack are.
Well, it should.
A lot of people are guessing Skull Kid and Happy Mask Salesman.
That'd be kind of cool.
Happy Mask Salesman.
Yeah.
Okay. Tingles must be somewhere in this game, right?
He's not, actually.
That's insane. This just screams to me the perfect time to like slap Tingle on it.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the DLC packs will be Tingle. Who knows?
It's a Tingle pack.
There's usually like a goofy joke character in Dynasty Warrior games, so I'm surprised there isn't really one in this. So
They should put that Japanese like Tingle game in this game.
just the entire DS game.
Yeah. And then also whatever like the treasure tracker one. That's the Tingle one, right?
Yeah.
What? No,
No. That's
Terra, or
Tetris.
Tetra.
Or no, the Tingle tuner is from Wind Waker, and that's how you used to find secrets and could hook up your GBA.
But there's a Tingle DS game, isn't there?
Yeah, the Rosy Rupee Land or something like that.
And wasn't it just Japan?
No, it's European
it?
as well. I have a copy behind me.
Oh, did we get it?
No.
Okay. And then there's a Tetra one.
Yeah, there's actually 2 Tingle games. There's a second one that's Japan only.
Okay. Yes, that sounds familiar. And then there's a Tetra game. Isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was Japanese only on GameCube.
That was a GameCube game. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Tetris Trackers. If you bought the collector's edition of Wind Waker, you got it, and Four Swords Adventures, or maybe it was collector's edition of Four Swords Adventures. Either way, Japan
Okay.
only.
All right.
All right, cool.
Oh shit. Okay, so I just loaded up the Master Quest map. I just wanted to see what the big change was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's telling me that every battle on the Master Quest map follows one of the special Master Quest rules. The first challenge that came up is that you are not allowed to heal at all.
That doesn't seem like an issue.
Another one is clear a battle within 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound very fun.
you cannot use potions and no healing items will appear. No guarding. So guarding will not protect you from
You can
enemy
guard?
hits.
How do you guard?
It's the bumper, or not the bumper, the shoulder, right shoulder. It helps you dodge,
Like
actually.
right trigger?
Yeah, sorry, right trigger.
No, that's well, for me at least, that's like my arrows, like my item attack.
Oh shit! Sorry, you're right. That's left bumper. Sorry, it's left trigger. Left trigger for blocking.
No, left trigger is switch the camera, like put the camera behind you. Or does
Yeah,
it do both?
it does both.
Okay. Actually, wait, okay. I've never guarded. Why would you guard when you can dodge?
Guarding, you can dodge out of guarding too. So
Why put two things instead of just dodge?
guarding will help when you're fighting like the soldiers, like so the playable characters, because then you can block their combos and then you can retaliate when their stamina's drained.
Okay, well, I'll take your word for it.
No guarding, no item attacks, and don't get hit at all.
Great.
I figured that had to be somewhere in this
Sure.
game.
Yep. A single blow will put you at death's doorstep. You'll need to make effective use of the special clock item to freeze enemies. That's a new thing they're adding in too, I guess, the clock.
That wasn't in Ocarina of Time. So that's weird.
So yeah, Master Quest looks like it's going to be fucking difficult, which makes sense given it's Master Quest. I have like a level 50 something character. I wonder how well he's going to do on this. But other than that, I don't know. I'm curious to see what the other DLC pack's going to be like.
Sure.
And I'm curious to see what the side stories they added are, because it looks like it's basically the bad guy side of the story all the way through, or at least for a bit, because it's only 5 missions.
Is the story good? Like, is there something to look forward to?
It's all right.
Okay.
I mean, it's standard. It's standard Legend of Zelda fare. Let's be real.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll keep playing.
Well, you have no choice too. So
I have no choice.
Yeah. Okay.
other than that,
Mhm.
I've been playing Smash 4.
Yeah, I guess I played a little bit of that too.
I already kind of feel done with it.
How much have you played it though? You've been traveling a lot, so.
I've been playing it on my flights to and fro.
Yeah, it's probably way more than I've been playing, so I'm not really done with it. But
My problem is, I guess, because of the traveling, I can't play much multiplayer, and it's a great multiplayer game. So if you got friends or people to play with, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But the single player is,
Yeah.
which is probably why the Wii U version is going to have a bunch more extra single player modes.
Although I do like, I forget what the mode's called, but you fight against characters from the era they're from. I thought that was interesting. That's a good use of.
All Star, yeah.
Is it All Star? Yeah, it is All Star. Where it's like
The only crummy thing is you're always fighting people in that order. So if you want to complete the game, you have to do that over and over and over again.
I guess, but it's just a good use of like, hey, we have all these characters. Here's an interesting way to, pair them up. So that was kind of cool.
My main gripe, like I'm at the point where the only thing I really have left to do is try to clear out the remaining challenges I have on the board, which is like 14.
Wow, really? How many are there?
There's 105.
105. They've been talking in chat that like who's
That
done
is so
what.
many.
Yeah, oh right, I can't. I'm in the middle of a mission. Yeah, no, something like that. I have I think 14 left. One on the second board and the rest are all on the third. But like on the third board, they get like stupid. Like, oh yeah, beat challenge or beat classic mode with every character. And this game has 49 characters.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Beat all-star mode with every character.
This seems like I think all this stuff was in the last Smashes. So
It was, and I think about it, and I'm like, I wonder why this stands out to me now. I think it's because back then I didn't bother doing it because I was distracted with the multiplayer. Because I had all these friends who were like super into it. We hung out all the time just playing the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that luxury at the moment.
Right.
So the only thing I'm getting enjoyment out of is single player, and I'm already kind of like, yeah, I'm kind of getting bored of this.
to be fair, like it's going to be like harder to have multiplayer sessions with the Wii U one, right?
Sort of, and sort of not.
Well, no, because the Wii U one is specific to everyone has to come over, but the
Yeah.
3DS one, you can go anywhere, or everyone could come over and you could still play together.
Yeah, but there's
So-
a bit more. There's a bit more of a barrier to entry because everyone needs to own a 3DS and I believe a copy of the game. I don't think this has download play.
It does. I don't think it does either. I guess yeah, but the other barrier to entry is you need to. I guess everyone has Wiimotes or
Or GameCube controllers or anything else, really. There is a rumor going around. I heard today that they're going to introduce 8-player mode in the Wii U Smash. I don't know if that's true or not, but it'd be pretty cool.
Interesting.
I think I heard that. No, I
Yeah.
heard that for. What did I hear that for?
There's
Maybe
an
it was
actual.
Smash. Yeah.
There's a bunch of voice clips going around from the announcer, and one of them is 8-player Smash.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I think I did hear this rumor as well.
It's cool.
I can barely play with more than one other person though, so 8-player doesn't do much for me.
Sure.
I haven't had too much problem with the online for 3DS when I've got to use it. It's been fun.
I haven't done the online. Sure.
The control scheme still messes me up from time to time. Then it's cost me some matches, which sucks when you're playing for glory mode. So
My biggest issue is just I'm so used to the GameCube controller that
Yeah.
I'm dodging like with the grab button, and I'm like, grabbing with my my usual dodge.
It's
So because before I could do either or, and then I had the Z button, but now it's like no, this one is this one, and this one is this one, and I'm just not used to it.
yeah, that's messing me up too. I don't know. It's definitely not the most optimal way to play it, and I really hope that the Wii U one is tons better.
Although the Wii U one, I'm probably going to be playing with the game. Man, probably going to be playing with the GameCube gamepad because I don't have my GameCube stuff here. So, oh well.
I'm sure they'll handle fine.
Yeah, like this one handles fine enough. I just got to get used to it again. All right, I guess Paul, what have you been playing?
All right. So I played Dragon's Crown finally, or a couple hours of it at least.
Is this like the super boob game?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, which one?
Which super boob game?
Oh, Dragon's Crown.
Crown.
There's a couple of super boob games.
What
out
are some
there.
of the other
Yes.
ones that came to your mind?
Senran Kagura came to mind because the new one came out for Vita.
Oh, really?
Dead or
Oh, okay.
Alive.
Which I was
Extreme.
more confused because I'm like, wait, you're using your Vita?
I don't have a Vita, so you would be even more confused.
Exactly, just layers upon layers.
Oh man, boobception. Anyways, yeah, that game's fine. It plays like if you played any of the old like Golden Axe or the Dungeons and Dragons games, the side-scrolling beat 'em up RPG type games. It's that, only in HD with nice graphics and giant tits. So, if that sounds like your type of game, you should probably look into it. It was free for PlayStation Plus members. I don't know if it still is. That's why I have it. But
Oh, I might have it as well then.
it's really good. It is actually really good. And I knew this would happen where it's like, I hate when they do art like this because then it's like, I can't say how much I like it because without looking like a weirdo or something.
I've heard this like exact criticism before from other people.
Yeah, like for other stuff probably even, but like this was the like epitome of that where it's like the only thing people knew about it was there's like a witch and her tits are like the biggest, like bigger than her body almost. And it's just like,
yeah, they're like the biggest
and
boobs
when
ever
people
conceived of.
When people see Dragon's Crown, that's the image in their head right away. And then there's me being like, that game's actually really good. What are you talking about? Because they don't see the like
The
tight
tits might as well be a dragon. They're so big.
right.
And not a crown.
And not a
Well,
crown.
no, because that would make it significantly smaller, and these are not small by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
They're so big, John.
How big are they, Sean?
How big are they, Sean?
They're so big that when she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
Oh snap!
I'm so glad you went there. I'm so glad
dumb.
you went there.
There is a lady.
Do you guys
in there.
remember the show Yo Mama?
Yes.
Yeah, that was okay. The host of Yo Mama was Fez from That 70s Show.
Oh my god!
And the concept was they had two groups of people on like, I don't know, in a parking lot or something at like night with some dramatic lighting, and then one person from each group would come forward and back and forth they would tell a Yo Mama joke, and then everyone would go, "Oh snap!"
Yeah.
And then they would crown like a winner.
Okay, and by the way, the joke you were looking for, Decoy Troy in the chat actually had it. The tits might as well be a dragon because she's dragging them across the ground.
There you go.
Oh.
Boom. There you go. A little shout out for Decoy Troy there. Give them all your hatred. Anyways, this game is totally fine. Like, it plays very well. The biggest problem I had with it is that it's obviously meant for like local multiplayer of some sort. And I played it solo, and the AI characters are fucking terrible. Like, the AI companions you can have are just dumb. They will run right into the dumbest shit and just die. That's the biggest problem I had with it. So, other than that, it's totally fine, I guess, if you're into that sort of game, which I am. John, did you say you played this ever? I think you and I talked a little bit about it.
I actually played it with a group of friends.
Oh, so your experience was actually really good, whereas mine was okay.
No, it was fun. A little confusing at times, but like because that game gets hectic with 4 players.
Oh,
but it
shit,
was fun.
Yeah, the art's really nice too. Like
the art style's the same that one artist does in all his games because he did like Odin Sphere.
Yep.
Whatever those Atlas games. It's like a string of Atlas games he did, and
well,
it's just Dragon's as the
most the Vanillaware stuff.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, but I don't know. That there's not much to say about that game. It's an arcadey type game you play with friends. It's really good if you have the opportunity to check it out. Another game that's kind of similar but in a different way is Team Indie, which I played this week as well.
I like that the chat's telling Yo Mama jokes now.
Can't imagine why. Muramasa, that was another one. Tenmar just said it in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, similar art style.
I think that was them too, wasn't it?
Yes, that was Vanillaware.
Yeah, okay. That would be why. So Team Indie is a puzzly platforming type game that revolves around the idea of new mechanics introduced in the form of classic indie game characters that are in this game world with your main character. So the story is you order a cat and your cat gets magically sucked into your computer game or something. So that cat is the main protagonist of this game, and all they do is jump. Like, they are just a little platforming thing that can jump from platform to platform, collect gems, and all that sort of stuff. But along the way, you meet up with like other indie game characters, and each one of them is a new mechanic that gets introduced, so you can get more gems or like complete the stage faster, or even just complete the stage at all. The first one you meet is actually Commander Video.
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
So
does the ability he gave you, like, is it relating to his games?
Yes. So Commander Video, all he can do is run forward. You can't control that. You can only control when you jump and slide.
Yeah.
And
I played this game.
Yes, you have.
Sounds bizarrely familiar.
And there's also power-ups that like your indie friends can use. They always look the same. They're like a little glowy orb. And depending on what that indie character's specific ability is, it will either recharge that or like do something so they can like continue on. So when Commander Video hits one of those power-ups, all it does is actually turn him around and make him run the other direction because you can't control him. Whereas the next person you get is like
I'm gonna try and guess some of the other indie guys. Okay.
Okay.
One of the dudes from V.
No.
V.
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of.
Super Meat Boy.
No. Keep in mind, I haven't played a whole lot of this yet, but I do know a good chunk of them.
Dude from Braid.
Yes.
That's a good one, yeah. Fez.
I don't...
The guy from Fez.
I don't actually know.
Gomez. Yeah, okay. Man, I'm basically just thinking of, like, what was in Dust and Elysian Tale, because he did a similar thing.
I was gonna say, just think of who's in Super Meat Boy, because they did that too. Like the kid from I Want to Be the Guy.
See, this is weird because this isn't. So, like, Clunk from Awesome Knots is a character.
Okay.
Like, this isn't that group of people. Like, Dust Girl from Dust Force is another one. Like,
Okay,
it's just
sure.
kind of a different me from Knit Underground.
Oh, you mean Junie?
Huh?
Oh no, because that's Knit Stories. Never mind, that's a different Knit character.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to find out. I'm actually trying to look it up right
Shovel
now.
Knight. Shovel Knight in it from the chat.
No.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
That
Yeah.
would have been a good one.
Yeah, that actually would have been a really good one. But no.
How about Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales?
I wouldn't really call that indie, considering Capcom made that.
Is he in it?
No.
Pidgeotto from Pokemon Red.
Yeah, you know what?
There you
Yeah,
go.
yes.
The indiest of games.
Yeah, he's in that. The indiest of games, exactly.
Dude with a gun from Killzone.
Yes.
All right.
So everyone from
Killzone.
Killzone. Everyone from Killzone in this indie game.
I would love that there's just a section of the game where you have to meet every Killzone character, and it's just like, oh, what are we at? Like 300 of you guys? How long is this section?
Anyway,
I kind of want that to be a thing.
anyways,
sorry.
I've been playing that. It's been kind of a cute, funsy little thing compared to the other shit I've been playing this week. And
Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
yes, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat is in this. The reason
Cybot from Mortal Kombat.
no, he isn't. Reptile is,
man.
however.
Reptile
So you were
is good.
close.
Smoke's awesome. I like playing as Smoke.
I like playing as Smoke. Sean Booker 2014.
Smoke's great. He can turn into Smoke.
Yeah, that's right.
Who
you
else can do that?
I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else. Clear is great. Okay, how about
There you go. He's cornered the market.
Human Torch from the Fantastic Four movie tie-in game?
What are you even talking about now?
I don't. Sean, what the?
No, is he in this game?
Yes.
Great. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Unless I think of a really good one.
Okay, so yeah, the basic idea is that it's a platforming puzzle game, and the way they introduce new mechanics is based on other indie game characters that have similar mechanics from their game. That's basically what it is. So think like Super Meat Boy when you would unlock the other characters and how they would play. That's kind of the same thing, only instead of a masocore, like, hard platforming game, this is just a lighthearted romp sort of thing where you're collecting gems and finishing a level. The next game I played, well, not in order, but I'll talk about it right now because I played it today, was A City Sleeps, the new game by Harmonix.
Oh man, chat, I am 3D Homer. Infamous Second Son dude could turn into Smoke. Boom.
Ooh.
Is he in the game?
By the way, I Am 3D Homer is Hank, so he's the one who's always thought-provoking us every week.
Is that why he suggested this?
It's just that I don't know.
Vincent Sin in the chat says Joanna Dark is in this game. Can you confirm?
Joanna Dark? I don't think so, but
Okay.
that would be really weird. Like, all joking aside, Joanna Dark
That really would be strange.
Yeah.
Koopa from
then
that
again,
one
let's-
Mario game.
Ah, yes, all of them. Perfect.
Of them. So yeah, A City Sleeps, it's a shmup.
Wii Fit Trainer,
Yes.
both male and female versions.
They are both in A City Sleeps.
Great.
Yeah.
I want to hear about A City Sleeps because I like harmonics.
Do you like shmups?
So this is a harmonic shmup?
It's a
Really?
harmonic
How have I not heard of this?
They've been talking about it for a while. It's been at PAXs. You've been at PAXs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm busy as fuck at PAXs usually, so.
Well, you'll be happy to hear this game isn't great. So
No, isn't great?
it isn't very great. And the reason for that is because everything in this game goes to a beat. Like, there's basically... Think there's a background song playing at all times, but it's silent. And then when you're doing stuff, that's, like, the rhythm that... Like, when you're shooting, it'll be the rhythm of the song sort of thing. And, like, some of the stuff you can do. The big thing in this game is there's... like materials that are just there at some points, and you can like put ghosts into them, and those ghosts will either help you in the form of like possessing a thing to give you health or possessing a thing to like do damage or to shoot things as well, like a turret or something. And all of that
Sorry,
is
hang on 1 second.
okay.
Just from the chat, another great one. How about each color of Yoshi?
Just like every color of Yoshi is in this game, they all have a different thing. I hate everybody that listens
so great
to this.
if they had like a really good lineup and then just each color of Yoshi.
Blue Yoshi, red Yoshi, yellow Yoshi. They're all there.
And if they weren't even ordered so all the Yoshis are together, they're just randomly interspersed down the character list. It's like, all right, here we go. What's this one? Oh, another Yoshi. Oh, this one's yellow. Okay. What? Haven't we come across like 4 of these? Oh, this is so good.
So
what are we talking about? City Sleeps.
A game that's not very good by Harmonix, basically. So yeah,
It seemed good. I watched that quick look on Giant Bomb.
okay. What seemed good about it to you? Like just from the outsider viewer standpoint, like what looked good?
I don't know, like the music combining with all the shots and stuff. And it seemed cool. Like you got a lot of power-ups. Those seemed cool to try out.
The thing is, the music doesn't combine with the like shooting and all that stuff. It dictates when you take shots and when you can't shoot and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the beat will be how fast your gun shoots.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest problem with it is that, like, as a shmup, it's probably totally fine. Like, it works. You can move around the screen, you can shoot stuff, and stuff will die eventually, and you can dodge bullets. The problem with it is that it feels grossly imbalanced to where it's not fun mechanically. Whereas, like, a game like Ikaruga, the mechanics were the same the whole time, but it was such a solid idea, and they built the level design around it solidly. So you were doing the same thing over and over, but the mechanics felt good the whole time, and you felt like you were getting better. This just kind of feels like they're throwing more stuff at you as you progress, and the beats get, like, more funky, fresh, or whatever, and things are getting harder arbitrarily, and you're not powering up at all, which is a problem for me in this game. Like, I might go back to it and try to play a little bit more, but I wasn't feeling it at all. The aesthetic is really nice. The music gets really annoying after a while because you're just stuck in these levels with that music the whole time, and it just gets so repetitive. If they had done it where it like read the like sound waves or something from a file and you could put your own music in it, I think that would be enough to keep me interested with like throwing different songs into it and seeing what you could do. But as it stands, it just seems like it's very basically directed. Like, they did this song for this level, so this would work out. And the gimmick behind it is that you are shooting with the rhythm of the music, and things are being shot at you with the rhythm of the music, and they're kind of all building on each other to make this like grand cacophony of bullshit that's trying to kill you. Whereas I think it would be better if I got to choose that, and like, even if it was unbalanced as fuck, I would still like to throw Through the Fire and Flames in there and just see how many bullets are just shot at me or something.
I feel like if you're at a point where you're saying a Harmonix game has bad music, something is wrong.
It's not that it's bad music, it's just that it's repetitive. Maybe it's just the fact that you have to do 3 levels in a row to count as one level, because each level is basically called a dream in this, and they're split up into 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3, and it's the same song the whole time. It just adds a little bit every time, which is why it gets repetitive. I don't know. For like the $15 or whatever it is, I would say you could probably pass on it.
Not a recommendation. I want to try it out. I'm interested.
You'll get to try it for free. So
yeah,
of course
it's
fine
good
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next game, Alien Isolation.
All right. You're playing with the Oculus Rift?
Of course I'm not.
Okay.
I don't have an Oculus Rift.
Okay, just checking.
I would never leave my house if I did.
Is it because, like John, you don't like 3D?
I honestly don't really mind 3D at all, but the reason why I don't have an Oculus Rift is because I am not a person of media or somebody who wants to spend money on it.
And I'll be honest, I actually like the Oculus Rift.
Whoa. Well, then what do you have against the 3DS, man? It's basically an Oculus Rift in your hands.
Well, it's bad 3D.
Because it is not duct taped to my face.
That you can do that yourself. You can even pick the color of duct tape.
I will find a Virtual Boy, hollow it out, plug in my 3DS, and it'll be my my homemade 3DS Oculus Rift.
There you go.
That'd be amazing,
Perfect.
Actually. However,
you'd only see one of the screens. It'd be real great.
That'd be so bad.
You'd have to like put the 3DS sideways so you could see both screens.
I feel like you could probably rig up something like this.
You could. It would look really ugly and be really expensive, and you might break something, including your eyeballs.
Oh, that's guaranteed, really.
Well, you're already wearing glasses.
Right.
Double down on it.
He's kind of right, John.
Wait, how did this become about me ruining my eyesight suddenly?
Because you have glasses. Duh.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Anyways, tell me about Alien Isolation. I'm actually super curious about this.
Alien Isolation is the best Alien game I've ever played because it is actually like Alien.
All right, I'm glad to hear this.
Yes. So, whereas like I like Aliens better as a movie because it's more actiony, there's more, just the pacing's better, and it feels fun the whole time. Alien is still the best horror movie probably ever made because the whole time the tension just rises up to a point where you're terrified by the time you see the alien, right? Well, what Alien Isolation does is you see the alien quite early, but that still adds to the tension because it's chasing you. You periodically see it as you're going through the level randomly. And that game, I don't know what it is. Like, usually stealth games, there's something about stealth games that still scare me a little bit because I don't like the idea of, like, I'm sneaking behind somebody or through somewhere and somebody looks at me. Like, that's kind of creepy to me. It's like that, only with an alien chasing you and will kill you at any instant in a dark ship in desolate space with bandits and shit everywhere too. I don't really know how to explain it in any better terms than if you like the movie Alien for what that does for like horror and suspense, this is a video game you should probably play.
How much have you played of it? Because I've heard it's too long at 20 hours.
I didn't know it was 20 hours. That seems disgusting because
I heard 15, but yeah, I heard it's pretty damn long.
I've heard consistently like 20 hours.
I've played probably about 2 to 2.5 right now, and I feel like maybe 6 would be okay.
I've heard 6 would be real good.
Okay.
Several times too.
Okay.
But it is 20 hours long.
20 hours is probably too long. I'm
curious to see how you feel about it on the other end of this.
Sure. John, it sounded like you were saying something.
I was going to say 2 things. One, I heard like 15 hours, really, but that's crazy long. Mm-hmm. Second, what about if the only Alien movie you've actually seen in full was Alien 3?
Alien 3 does a lot of what Alien 1 did as well, only less effectively in every way.
Yeah, I was going to say Alien 3 was not that scary at all.
No, it's not.
What if you don't play scary games ever?
Then do not play this at all.
Okay, I wasn't planning to.
Sure.
What if you've only seen Prometheus? I've done that.
This is absolutely nothing like Prometheus in any way imaginable.
It doesn't have Michael Fassbender in it?
No.
He's a robot.
Okay, never mind. Sean was actually right, because the review I read, I thought it said 15 was 21 hours.
It's even longer.
Whoops. It's even longer than he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, do you have the game? Did you pick it up?
I have not picked it up yet because of all the traveling. I need my money for that. So once I stop traveling next week, I'll probably pick it up. I
thought you had another trip next week.
Next week I do not have a trip. It's after this trip. I've got 2 weeks, and then there's potentially another trip, but based on conversations I had today, that may not be happening, which I'm okay with.
Okay.
I think we almost
was it to PAX Australia?
No, it was to Newfoundland, and then drive back.
Oh no!
I've done that drive, not from Newfoundland, but
so
from
have
Nova
I,
Scotia.
which is why I don't want to do it again.
It's a long drive.
It is.
It's a long drive.
It's all the way across Canada.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah.
You
I've done
should
that.
you should do the drive and then just keep going to BC to say you did it. You should go from one ocean to the other ocean.
I'm helping my parents move.
You-
I'm not going to take their stuff to BC, then double back to Alberta.
Well, you could stop off at Alberta for a second and being like, guys, I've got a mission. I got to do this.
I got a mission.
Yeah. You should. Okay, here you go. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Here is
Oh, this
the
is gonna be
plan.
good. I'm just gonna mute myself.
Is all right. You go to the East Coast. You put like your right hand in the ocean.
Oh,
Never wash this hand.
For a week.
West
For a
Coast,
week.
left hand in the ocean. Both oceans on yourself.
Sean, that's a week-long drive.
Do it.
Oh well, he said do it. Now you have to.
Oh, of course. That locked it in place there.
Oh man.
Get some water from both oceans. Freeze them into ice cubes. Double ocean ice bucket challenge.
Double ocean ice bucket challenge.
Or realistically, go on a mission to find one video game that's really hard to find and stop at every video game store along the way back to Calgary.
That would actually be more interesting, because this trip would not have me stopping.
But
to
make
do
sure
stuff.
that before you do that, you dip your hand in the ocean, right? Then you don't wash it for a week. We could do both in one time here.
There are so many
It'd be so
possibilities
nasty.
you could do.
So nasty.
Also, there will be a GoPro just attached to you, so you are not able to... Like, we will know if you wash your hand, basically.
You should live stream this. Live
This is
stream.
getting worse.
Live stream your whole trip. This would be great.
It's fucking terrible.
This is the dumbest podcast ever. Alien Isolation's good. People that were looking into it should buy it. What is it within? Which I
Oh, man.
Ah.
Wait, I heard it gets real good after 3 hours.
Okay. Are you being serious about that?
Yes, that's what Brad Shoemaker has said.
Okay, I don't trust Brad Shoemaker's opinion on anything, so that doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, well,
But
all right.
The Evil Within is a disappointing Resident Evil 4 clone.
Oh no! Because Shinji Mikami even worked on this. I was excited for this.
There's stuff it does quite right, like very good, but they are overshadowed by poor game design choices that I've already encountered in the first bit I've played, which I know will probably just get worse. Okay, remember Crimson Heads?
Yep.
Is that like Crimson Dragon?
No, that's not at all
No,
like Crimson Dragon.
Not even remotely.
Then I don't know.
For
what we're
people
talking
that
about.
don't know, in the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube, they added these Crimson Head zombies that would be able to get back up and chase you, or what? Like the virus mutates or whatever. They get back up after you've shot them down and killed them after a certain period of time and chase you and kill you or whatever. They come back to life. So to get rid of them, you have to burn their corpses. Now, they add a corpse burning mechanic in this game. In fact, one of the first things you do in the second chapter is you pick up some matches and it's like, hey, light this body on fire that's right beside it. So I was just like, oh shit, did they actually add this in here? And saying how I was excited because Crimson Heads were the thing that brought horror back to Resident Evil for me back in 2004, whenever that was. And I was super stoked
That was
about
8 years ago.
And then I find out later they won't actually come back to life. That is just something you can do. There's no...
Just burn them if you want?
Actually, there are some that will, apparently, based on stories I've heard from friends.
There are some that will? Okay, then that's good.
Yeah.
Because...
Okay, I've got 2 things to interject with.
Yes,
Okay.
Sean.
First one, back to that live stream, the GoPro thing.
Oh my God, Sean.
Just in the chat, I have 3D Homer points out, you can call it the first person perspective. There we go. This is happening.
Boom.
All right?
Mic dropped.
Boom. Yes. Second thing, I have a cool story about fire, because we were talking about
Oh
fire.
my god, okay.
I'm going to go back to Hyrule Warriors.
Outside my office, actually a block down from it, I don't know what exactly happened over the weekend, but coming to work on Monday, from what we've seen, basically somebody drove a Winnebago to this spot and then lit it on fire and then just let it melt. There's so much burnt garbage in this one street, and there's just like suitcases and like that ladder that you see on back of like big vans and stuff. And I don't know what happened, but yeah, that's weird. Then someone wanted that parking spot, so they parked on top of it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. San Francisco.
I don't know what to say.
San Francisco.
Oh, man. Okay, I guess, like, just on a technical level, I'll talk about the Evil Dead and how much it sucks getting that running, because it crashed 3 times in a row on me.
So you clarify, you played both Alien Isolation and this on PC, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
And you haven't played much of Evil Within, because maybe at that 3-hour mark it does get good.
It might. I will be able to report back on that. I actually only started playing it today, because today was my first day off. So, getting this game to run crashed 3 times. I finally got it to run, and there are these giant black bars at the bottom and the top of the screen because
Oh yeah, it's letterboxed, right?
It's
like
letterboxed.
really weird letterboxed.
It's letterboxed widescreen, so there is
What?
yeah, like I don't know,
like
man.
it's a really weird aspect ratio.
Isn't that redundant?
It's
well, no,
it's
that's
worse.
not like that's a new thing. Tons of widescreen stuff are letterboxed, but this one I understand is just like really weirdly letterboxed. Like it's a lot. There's
Like,
not a lot of.
For
screen.
example, if like a normal widescreen letterbox you would see is maybe like say 1 inch, right, on the screen of black bar on either side. This is probably 2.5 to 3 inches. Like it's fucking huge. It takes up most of the screen. It's like about 25% of the screen is black space.
And what I was hearing was an issue with that is, you know, they're showing so little, yet the resolution is still not like that high. Like the game doesn't look that great.
The game resolution is very low and the aspect ratio is very high. So what they're going for is like, I can see what they're going for if they're trying for like a B horror movie sort of like video vibe, because they also cap it at 30 frames per second and put film grain on it. So what they're going for is it's supposed to kind of look shitty and like Grindhouse like or something. What this makes a problem is when you're playing the game, it's hard to see certain screen elements, like where an enemy is in relation to your character, since it's behind the back third person, or like where certain items could be. The field of view is quite narrow, and you can't change the field of view, which is a pain in the ass for a game like this when you have like your character taking up a portion of the screen. So what you should do if you're on PC is, if you buy it on Steam or whatever, you can put into the launch options to allow the console, and then you should go into the console and take off the frame limit so the game can actually run not shitty, and you should also change the aspect ratio so you can see stuff on the screen, which is a ridiculous like, if you want the cinematic experience, fine, I can see why you might want to do that. Give me a fucking option to actually play this game so I can see what's going on the screen. That's all I'm asking for.
What you're saying is Bethesda made a buggy PC game.
Yeah, pretty much. The thing is, when they make buggy PC games, like in the form of Skyrim or something, it just kind of adds to it, like to the quirkiness, and more importantly, you can see what you're doing the whole time. I don't know. There's so many problems. It doesn't feel great either. Like, I tried playing a little bit of it with the mouse and keyboard, really didn't like that. I tried playing it with the controller. That is somewhat better, but it still feels like a shitty third-person shooting Resident Evil type game with a controller even. There's nothing really that interesting about any of the mechanics in the game. Like, they haven't iterated or made anything better. They just kind of are stuck with mediocrity. Like, they thought that was fine. And what we're going to try to excel at is making creepy, gross things on the screen rather than making an interesting gameplay experience, which is what's annoying.
That's
weird. Isn't that what Resident Evil 5 kind of did in a way?
What Resident Evil 5 did was add a co-op player, which was the only reason that game was playable.
True.
So, yes, it is what Resident Evil 5 tried to do without the good part of what Resident Evil 5 actually did. I don't know. Other than that, there's brain goo, and that's what you use to upgrade your character. And you can upgrade your character because RPG elements are in everything these days, including survival horror, even though they never used to be. I don't know. It is a modern throwback to survival horror, and I'm trying to find things I like about it. They are fighting me the whole way so far. So we'll see. I'll report back on that. But
Are you gonna give it a little bit? Are you gonna give it another shot?
I plan to finish it completely because
All right.
Shinji Mikami.
Yeah, that's
deserves
why
it.
I'm the most bummed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last game that Shinji Mikami did? That was not Shadows of the Damned.
Well, the thing
Did
is,
he do that? He did that though, didn't he?
yeah, he did. Or at least he had
I like
a
that
hand
game.
in it. I don't know if he was
That game's real good.
Shadows of the Damned was Suda Mikami. That was their collaboration.
There's a lot of dick jokes in that game.
See,
But it's real good.
The thing is, this whole time I'm playing this, I just want to play Shadows of the Damned again because that felt mechanically good. This doesn't at all.
It also has the big boner.
It does have the big boner. You're right.
Sean remembers the important things.
Anyways, that's all I've been playing this week. So we should go on to news.
News.
All right.
Again, not a ton of news. A couple things. The PlayStation TV is out now. Just
Wait, what?
yeah, in America, you can pick that up if you want. $100.
I might actually do that.
That
Again-
had like, no fanfare.
Again, it's. I guess Paul, you don't have a Vita, so this might be a way for you to play some Vita games.
Sure, I'm in.
Its other use is streaming your other consoles to a different TV, so you can use it as kind of as a hub. So if you have multiple TVs and you want to play in your PS4 but in a different room on a different TV, it'll act as a gateway for that. Along with that, the PlayStation Now open beta for the PlayStation TV and the Vita started yesterday, I believe. So you can download those apps if you want to. That's their streaming rental game, but now you can do it on your Vita. Mm-hmm. So if you want to rent a game on your PS3 or whatever and play it on your Vita or play it on your PlayStation TV, that's definitely something you can do. Now, Nintendo, you can buy games on Nintendo.com. This is crazy. This just seems so correct use of internet. I'm so shocked Nintendo's doing it.
Yeah, like Nintendo shouldn't be attached to this at all because they don't know what internet is. So
right, like I'm surprised they're allowing.
Finally having it beaten into them.
I don't know about that, but they're slowly working their way there. Yeah. Cool thing is, so you can pre-order the games, and then when they are released, it'll just directly download to your console. Apparently, I find this so hard to believe. To me, Nintendo heard that sentence and they're like, "That doesn't exist. That's what future people do in the future, in like the year 3000."
That's what future people do.
Yeah. So Nintendo probably was like, I don't understand how that works. There's a game cartridge in my hand. How is it supposed to magically appear in the internet box?
How do I plug this cartridge into the internet box? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Where does this N64 cart fit on my Wii U? We need a new peripheral. And then they release like a gun controller that holds the Wii U gamepad. Because I guess we need one of those.
Sure. That already exists. That actually does already exist.
Really?
I believe Cabela's did it.
There's a Cabela's game on the Wii U?
I think. I've definitely seen, and this might have just been at E3 where I just saw like the Game Boat company might have done this. I don't know.
Oh man!
From the people that brought you Game Boat.
I have definitely seen like someone using the gamepad like a silent scope attached to like a long plastic gun, and you used it like for VR games or like AR games. I mean, rather.
Huh. All right. Well. Anyway, I guess you can go to Nintendo.com and download some games or purchase them from there.
Astro actually says there are 2 Cabela games on the Wii U.
Awesome.
I've always wanted to play that Dangerous Hunts or whatever because it looks like Call of Duty with bears.
Dude, they look so ridiculous, and they have plot. There's a story.
I know, this is why I want to play Deadly Creatures as well.
Big Buck Hunter from that bar you were at, but now at your house?
No, the game I'm talking about is literally Call of Duty with a rifle and bears attacking you and hyenas and shit.
Like dodge rolls. I think you can get grenades later on.
Yes.
Okay.
They're so dumb.
All right.
I have to get my hands
I
on
have
it.
almost bought it because I wanted to see how stupid it really was, but I have not committed.
I have to get my hands on one.
There's a couple Dangerous Hunt games too. I think they went annual for a while.
Was there on Steam? Am I stupid
Hey,
enough
but speaking
to buy?
of Steam, while you're looking it up,
Yeah.
Steam is doing a free weekend.
Yeah.
This weekend, 10 games are going free to for you to download and try out.
And they're all awesome, except for
Here's the
one,
list:
maybe.
Awesome Knots, Blade Symphony, Company of Heroes 2, Don't Starve, Grid 2, Injustice, Killing Floor, Payday 2, Trine 2, and XCOM Enemy Unknown.
Yep.
So those are all free right now until the end of the weekend.
Jesus, that's a good list.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great games in there.
It's
I know why Payday 2 is free for the weekend because it's Crime Fest. It's the 3-year anniversary of the Payday franchise.
Crime Fest
What is
continues.
Crime Fest? Like Crime Fest is the name of their anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And for today only, Payday 1 is free to buy on Steam.
Oh,
So
there
like
go.
you just download it then.
Yeah.
Everybody listening to this live, go do that right now. Just for the hell of it. Even if you don't have a computer that Dangerous Hunts 2013. Okay, it is on here. This might be purchased. Oh wait, download demo. What the hell is this shit? Anyways, yeah, so
That's the end of news. That's it.
God,
That's all I
there's some
got.
good games on there.
You weren't kidding.
There's not a lot happening right now.
No. A lot of questions though.
Questions. There's a lot of questions happening.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people send questions in, guys?
TDP Podcast on Twitter, topdownperspective@gmail.com, facebook.com/topdownperspective, or just look it up, I guess. I don't really know. On there.
I'm pretty sure we have the URL, yeah.
And if you give me a second, I could look up John's P.O. Box number.
Don't.
I'm not actually looking that up.
I had 2 letters in my mailbox when I went the other day. I was like, oh no, this can't be both for TDP. No, they were actually for me.
Okay,
So.
Oh,
good.
man, I was going to be so excited if we had more letters. That would have been amazing. Okay, I'll read the first one.
Okay.
Andrew writes, is there any game out there that had a unique concept dealing with the seasons that actually worked well? I'm finding it hard to think of any games that deal with the seasons besides the Oracle of
Seasons.
That's the one. And what's another one?
Harvest Moon.
Okay, if we put it like that,
I never
then
played
I guess,
Yeah, I've never played a Harvest Moon.
Animal Crossing has seasons.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like those are just like, it's just time. Like tons of games have like a day-night cycle or whatever, but whereas the season in Oracle of Seasons is a mechanic. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think if there's any other games where it's something other than just like the passage of time, kind of. What is this?
This is something that just got linked in the chat. It's an article that says Google announces its very own game console.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, I put it in the Skype chat.
Okay.
Apparently, Google announced the Nexus Player, a new streaming device and game console built as a collaboration between Google and Asus.
This sounds like
Steambox in a way.
No. I was going to say
Android.
it sounds like what was that Amazon Fire thing?
Oh yeah, the Amazon Fire.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds like another one of those because I was like a stream box that could play some games. I guess we'll see if anything actually comes of this.
Hey, remember the Ouya?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this one's also $100. Says other micro consoles. Is that a thing now? Such as the Ouya, Amazon's Fire TV, and Sony's recently released PlayStation TV. I guess the PlayStation TV is a micro console.
It is pretty tiny from what I hear.
Yeah. Comes out November 3rd. Pre-order it tomorrow. All right. Any other games about seasons? Or seasons that actually worked well? Seasons.
No, I have no idea.
I can't think of any.
Besides, like, the obvious one that you both said at the very
it's the only one
start.
that pops. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's coming to mind.
Okay. Maximo Starblazer says, 3 games coming out next month that I care about. Bayonetta 2, Smash 4, Wii U, and the Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire remakes. Opinions/thoughts on these upcoming releases. Bayonetta 2 is next week.
It was this. Yeah, that's this month.
Yeah. but
So
I am looking
I think
forward
that
to
means don't give your opinion on it.
Opinion
I'm just muting my
on the...
mic.
Okay, there you go. Bayonetta 2, psyched for it. Reviews have been really good for it.
They've been great. They've been real good.
Except for polygons, and why is that? I've been hearing
Because
like there's some
sexism.
controversy about that. Oh,
That is literally why.
Okay, what did Polygon give it?
7.5.
That's still a
That's
good
still good.
review. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, but like everywhere else gave it 10s or 9.5s, so that's why people are like, oh.
Hearing that, like I didn't get into Bayonetta 1 really, but I'll give Bayonetta 2 a shot. Of course, I'll play some Smash, and
Well,
I'll play the Pokemon remakes.
I
'cause
loved
played
Bayonetta
Pokemon
1. It
every-
was one of my favorite games of that whole year, so I'm looking forward to Bayonetta 2.
Cool.
Sean, you're in luck. Bayonetta 2 comes with Bayonetta 1.
I don't know if I'll play through both.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely try to give Bayonetta 2 a try.
Cool.
Definitely psyched for Bayonetta. Smash, hopefully, is better than the 3DS one.
That's the one I'm
And-
actually going to buy, the Wii U version, so...
And I don't care about Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'll get it. I like Pokemon a lot. I'll play that every year. I'll get my yearly Pokemon on.
Okay, One Press L2P says, have you ever tried or had to make a game yourself or in a team project?
Yes, in university. That was technically what my degree was.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was computer science.
Yes, with a focus in game development.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
That's what I went to school for, but I dropped the class, and so I don't have that acclamation on my degree.
Okay. My company makes some small games for educational stuff, so I've done some like animation work, sound design work. Nothing really.
I guess I also could say throwing controllers because I built that in RPG Maker.
Yeah, I would count
There you
that.
go.
It's a game, like, there you go. I've tinkered with
Isn't it more of
Unity
just kind of like a
coding,
menu?
But no, I haven't made anything. Like,
Isn't throwing controllers more of just kind of like a menu?
Well,
Okay.
it's
the whole panel
like
is a game, though.
yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah. Not a skeleton. Since Bayonetta 2 is out now, do you have any opinions about the first game? All right, we talked about Bayonetta 2. Brad,
It was a good game. Bayonetta 1's good. Like it.
I
Play
just
it.
like that his name is Not a Skeleton, because when I first read that, I was just like, oh, he's just like doing that, I'm going to change my name for Twitter thing. No, he is at Not a Skeleton on Twitter.
Just coincidental timing.
Yeah.
Brad Sparks writes, with consoles like Retron 5 and companies like Magical Game Factory and Super Fighter Team releasing new carts, do you view the resurgence in cart-based gaming as an overall positive for the community or as a gimmick?
Gimmick.
It's niche. It's a niche market.
That I was gonna say the same. As I don't see it as a resurgence. I see it as, some bands still put out like records, on a small run because a couple people would like records. It's
Sure.
just, I think it's just that. It's
like-
just like, hey, remember when you got one of these? Well, we'll make a couple more of those.
Yeah, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
So-
I personally like take part in that scene and enjoy that scene, but
Sure.
I completely recognize it is an acquired taste, and it's only a small fraction of gaming in general.
Well, it's fine to like a gimmick. It's just
Yeah,
that it's not
like-
a resurgence of anything.
You're not going to see like AAA companies suddenly putting games like on cartridges
Oh,
again.
God,
like,
no.
Just for the sake of like, here's a collector's edition, run it in your NES or something.
Yeah.
You're going to see like maybe indie companies, like I could see Shovel Knight, if they could have toned down the game enough, they probably would have done that. Yacht Club would have done
Didn't
that,
we
maybe.
ask them about that too? And they're just like,
We did.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause
no,
we
we
said, like-
can't do that, like, at all.
Yeah, there's actually an article they wrote on Gamma Sutra showing why they can't do that, but the music can all run off of an NES cart and just a bunch of other stuff like
But
that.
the color palettes and the coding, like, it's not made to go on a cart ever, basically.
Yeah, they cheated essentially.
Okay, Michael Jacobs asks, do you think any of the console copies can actually be good, or will they always be crappy copies of a different system? That seems like it had a first part to it.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
This is missing something here, yeah.
Let me quickly, if you want to go to the next one, I'll quickly look
Sure.
on Twitter and see if I missed
Brandon
something.
writes, which episode of the podcast was when you guys first talked about 99 Nights?
Oh my god.
We were talking about this briefly beforehand. I don't remember. It would have been real early because we were still at EB Games.
We hadn't started the podcast at this point.
Do you think so? Paul says that too, but I want to say we had because
I no,
we talked about it.
I'm 100% certain because we didn't start the podcast till I moved to a different house, and I beat 99 Nights in the first house I was in when I worked at that store.
Well, because when you guys
Okay,
started
well,
the
there must
podcast
have-
was
still,
like
there
4
must have-
years after that game came out.
Well, I don't think there's no way either of us played it in 99 Nights when it first came out. I don't even
No,
know how
no.
I ended up with a copy of that game. I don't remember.
Because it was like $1 at the store, I think is how you ended up with.
Maybe
a copy.
that might have been it. Yeah.
Okay, I think I found the first part of the question, by the way.
Okay, hang on. Let's finish this one.
Yeah.
Probably the very beginning, or pretty damn close.
Normally I try and write down in the description of each episode what we talked about. Normally I don't put all the games, but I guess just look through our descriptions and try and find one about 99 Nights. And that's all I can really recommend.
Yeah,
I don't remember the episode. We've done a lot of these episodes.
Keep in mind that the episode won't be discussing the actual like playing of the game. It'll just be Sean bringing it up, making fun of me for it.
Yeah, what you should be doing is listening from the very beginning every single episode and then telling us for a prize.
Okay, you found the first part of the question.
Okay.
Hopefully this is right.
So I think
Is it from the same guy?
Yes, I think this is how this went. Should I start playing my copy of the Sly collection? Do you think any of the console copies can actually be good, or will they always be crappy copies from a different system? Like, will the remakes of these like collections be good and like actually remade, or will they just be crappy ports of the old one? And in the Silent Hill collection, I can tell you it's a crappy port of the old.
Yeah,
one.
They patched one of the versions though, the PS3 one, right?
I would hope so. Jesus.
Because I think it was the
case-by-case basis, isn't it?
360. One of them didn't get patched. The other, they gave free games to the people who bought it because they weren't going to patch it. I can't remember which got patched and which didn't. I think it was the PS3 version. It's whichever version I own was the one that did get patched, which, based on what's behind me, looks to be the PS3 version.
Interesting.
I guess play Sly collection if you want to. But in terms of just on a more general note, if they play fine, I think that's great. I usually don't go and dig out my old consoles. I don't live with a lot of my consoles. I left them at my parents' place, so I can't even if I wanted to.
Sure.
So if they're making it easier for me to play older games or games I want to go back to or whatever, that sounds good to me.
In terms of Shadow of the Colossus, the frame rate actually can keep up with how big that game is, so they made
which
that
actually
better.
makes the game harder.
Yeah.
Even if they do a bad port, it's like, okay, just don't play that version and go back to the old one.
And
like,
see,
it's not like the old one goes bad.
This is one of the things where it's like, rather than ask us, just like hang out in the chat and ask people in the chat because they know more than us, because Echo Eclipse is like, Sly Collection is really great. So that person answered your question for you. There you go.
Brandon writes second question. Question to Paul, how do you feel about the films Cabin in the Woods and Oculus, if you've seen them?
I've been meaning to watch Oculus for a long time. Cabin in the Woods is legitimately one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
A good movie.
I will say it's a top ranking favorite movie period of all time. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's really
pretty good. But you have to go in not knowing what to expect.
That's
I feel
the
like
thing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you know what to expect, you've almost ruined the movie for yourself. We went into the theater, just like a group of 4 of us, not knowing what to expect. We're like, oh, it's a Joss Whedon horror film. This would be great. And then what we got was just so much better than what we could have ever hoped.
Well, don't spoil it for people.
We're not
No, I'm
going
not.
to. No.
Trust me, that's half the fun.
I would say it's 90% of it even.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
Like the first viewing will never be topped on any other viewing of that movie.
That's also why I've never watched that movie a second time.
It's still, you know what? I will say the second and third time you will notice little Easter eggs and things that you didn't notice before, which are also almost equally as fantastic, but that it's still not the same as the first high, really. But yeah, Oculus I've been wanting to watch, and I'll probably watch that since it's the season for all that stuff now.
All right, Henry writes, this is a sort of an addendum continuation of my question for last week. He wrote in last week about our opinion on review scales, if people remember that.
Yep.
He says, may I propose a 3-point review scale to you guys? It would be negative, neutral, positive. We kind of already do this with the 10-point scale, where negative is 0 to 6, neutral is 6 to 8, and positive is 8 to 10. The only difference is the intent of the review is clearer and can avoid confusion more easily.
I think I would argue that negative in the 10-point scale is like 0 to probably 3, 4 to 8 or something.
That's mainly why I wanted to bring this up is I'd agree with Henry that a lot of people will look at like a 6 and be like, clearly it's a really bad game.
It's like, no, it's better than average, actually.
Which that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't feel like that's the case.
Jim Sterling, whoever did that, by the way.
But because there's a lot of games that got pretty low that were like fun. Like keep in mind, like Mirror's Edge, I remember was getting like 60s, and people love Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, most reviewers like you said, like if it's below 80, that usually means it's a bad game. To a lot of people.
Unfortunately, yeah, which it shouldn't be the case because that's not how numbers work.
Yeah,
right.
But just in terms of breaking it down to that 3, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it could work. Again, I really like the 5-point scale, but I think it just depends on. I think it depends on the person reading it. Maybe they need more. Maybe they need less.
Honestly, I don't like scales at all. I would rather somebody who like I agree with stuff either tell me is it worth your time and money or not. Like I would like a yes or a no. Like you should continue with this if it's on sale, sort of thing, or whatever. Like I don't just want to know it's 6 out of 10. I would prefer if you can get this on a sale, it's worth your 2 hours or whatever. Like that
depends on the player every time, though, right?
That's
like a really good horror game is not good for me.
Every single review is completely subjective, though, right? Like always. So I would rather just know a reviewer and like just attune myself to what I believe with them, and then just follow them for that. Which is why personality-driven content is what is bigger than the IGN crap and stuff they do.
See, this is why one of the few reviews I didn't use a scale. I was just like, all right, this is the group that would really enjoy this game for these reasons, and this is the group that wouldn't.
Exactly.
So that's why I broke it down to like, hey, you should play this. No, you guys should probably avoid this.
Yeah. Okay. Cody asks, or says, I don't know yet, is there a game or series that you think looks like a good game, but don't want to play it because it would be too much of a time sink? A good example is Skyrim and the Persona games.
I would agree with those examples.
I put this question, I grabbed this question because this is the John question.
Oh my God, it is true though. It's entirely true.
Here we go.
Yeah. Just any game.
Yep. Except 99 Nights.
No.
Hey, that wasn't me this time.
You know what? I would argue against it more if it wasn't for the fact I'm playing Hyrule Warriors. So
hey, yep.
Told you.
I'll agree. Skyrim, Persona. I wish I had more time to play those. There's a ton of games I wish I had more time to play. Even just games from like this year. Like I'm still really wanting to get to Shadow of Mordor. Still really want to try Jazz Punk, Watch Dogs, Destiny. I've been real busy. There's
really just
a lot.
Games in general at this point. It's more like, oh man, I wish I had time for all these games.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're
also,
in a market
and yeah,
where
like
so much stuff comes out now.
You're also asking 3 guys that do a video game podcast. We could almost just say, like, I don't know about you guys. I want to play everything I can get my hands on.
More or less, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, apparently the game that looks like a good game but don't want to play because it would be too much of a time sink should be Alien Isolation because it's apparently fucking 20 hours long.
Yeah.
That is a little insane, all things considered.
I don't know if I'm going to finish that after hearing that. That's ridiculous. I don't have
keep playing it. Keep playing it till you get sick of it, though.
There's so many games.
There's a lot of games, and that's why I'm so worried that John's not going to play through Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
With all the traveling I keep doing, I almost have the perfect chance for it.
Yeah, you do. You don't let this chance pass you. It's so good. All right, Mitchell writes 2 questions. First, I have been doing everything in my power to avoid Five Nights at Freddy's because it is centered around trying to avoid a single jump scare, and the thought of animatronic dolls becoming possessed and attacking you scares the crap out of me. Are there games that you guys have attempted to avoid playing / buying due to a central aspect that you do not enjoy about them?
No.
Yeah, no, like genres.
I'll say the
like
price.
sports games.
The price
I
is the
avoid
only
those
thing that
because
keeps
they're
me
sports
away.
games.
Sure. Okay. I'll still play a sports game if like somebody had it or lent it to me. Price is the only thing that keeps me from that stuff.
I feel like Five Nights at Freddy's and MMOs are like the two.
You don't want to play Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, I think I hate the fact that it's basically just about a jump scare.
It's not though. It's not about
Like,
the jump scare is
the
fail
way
state.
the way I see it, the gameplay is literally you trying to avoid a jump scare.
Well, no, it's a stress-inducing machine. That's all it is. The jump scare is just the fail state. Like,
yeah, but
the worst part about it. The worst part about it
even
isn't
a jump scare if you know it's coming.
No, it's not. It's everything before that is fucking the worst.
No, but I'm just saying, like, can you even call it a jump scare if you know it's coming? Like,
well, yeah,
isn't the entire point of a jump scare
it kind of just randomly does
it. It still scares you though because now you're expecting it, so now you're just like getting tense from like, all right, it's gonna happen now. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's my thing with horror games is why I don't play them. Is this quarter there could be nothing in it, but I don't want there to ever be anything in it, including myself.
Yeah,
I'm not playing this game.
Five Nights at Freddy's specifically actually made the Saturday night I played it the worst night I've ever had this year. Like, it was...
Well, you're very clearly making me want to play this more now, the way you're doing.
If you want, there is a video, like, from the stream when I played it, and I was physically shaking at the end. I just had too much. I couldn't do it anymore. Like, it fucked me up. All things considered, there was other personal life issues going on at the time, so I was already super stressed. But... okay, second question he asks.
Hang on, I got one more thing to add with this one.
Yeah.
Length will often push me away from a game. Is even if I want to play it, it's like, but I just know that to play this, it's going to be like 30 hours, and I don't have the time to devote to it.
I'll still try it though. Usually,
I usually won't because then it's like, what did I get out of that? And if I ever go back to it, I'm just gonna have to restart it anyway. So it's almost like any time I put into this is a waste.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah, so, his second question. Speaking of avoiding games, Sean, you seem to deride the new series of Nintendo games for no reason other than they have the word new in them, barring Yoshi's New Island, which seems like it is boring and frustrating. What constitutes towards such a poor opinion of the other games? I have played both of the console ones, and have enjoyed both of them for their late game challenge and fun power-ups, and I think they actually stand up to the classics in terms of gameplay and creativity. So he's talking about the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I don't like the multiplayer at all. It is like it's like designed just to be chaotic and silly. I don't like that. Like I'm usually trying to get through those games. I don't really find them that creative, and I would not say they stand up to the classics. Yoshi's New Island is really bad.
Yeah.
That's a really bad game. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is so dull, and the mechanic is collect lots of coins, and that's the big draw. Like, what? The entire game?
I still had fun playing New Super Mario Bros. 2.
I didn't. That's my least...
The stages were fun.
That's my least favorite of all the new Super Mario Bros. Games. But, and it's... Yeah, I find them so uninteresting compared to, like... And then, like, 6 months later, they'll come out with, like, an amazing Mario platformer.
Yeah,
and it's just like in comparison, it's like, why am I even bothering with this? Like when New Super Mario Bros. U came out, it was just like I could not care less about this because like I had just played 3D Land.
It's really weird how it's like clearly the B team is on like
the
new series, but like some of the stages are good, but it's always outshined by the better series, like the Galaxy team doing like 3D Land, 3D World.
And I guess I just don't feel that there's that many, like enough good stages in those ones. So that's my general. It's not just the word new. It's just that's the pattern that's arisen. So
yeah,
and yeah, Yoshi's New Island is just bad all around. Don't play that game.
Okay, Tobias asks, John, Did you have any idea you were going to read in the absolutely fantastic episode of the F Plus you were on? And do you or anyone else in the podcast listen to it at all? I don't know what the F Plus is, so maybe
I don't know what
explain
this
that
is either.
first.
It's a podcast about very interesting things on the internet, basically.
Why is it called F Plus?
I was
Is that the joke? Like,
kinda.
okay.
Okay.
I did not know. I was just asked to be on the podcast one day, and then when I got in the call to get ready to record, they're like, "All right, here's what we're going to be discussing today. Here's the website." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to need to scrub my browsing history after this, aren't I?" They're like, "Yep."
Would I know anybody who does this? I'm looking it up right now.
I don't think so personally.
Well,
They're
like,
all
not personally, but at all.
I know a couple people from the Speed Gamers. That's about it. That's how I got involved.
Which episode number are you on?
I don't know the actual number.
I'm sure he's in the description. Right? So,
I would think so.
so do you normally listen to this podcast, John? Because clearly
I
we
do.
don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do, and it's interesting. I haven't tuned in a while, but like it always makes me laugh from time to time.
Okay.
It also just makes me weep for humanity a lot too, because they go to a lot of dark places on the internet, like my episode.
Oh, great. Now I actually
And-
really want to hear it. So
The second question from Tobias. Also, have you guys played the Hotline Miami heist in Payday 2? And if so, what's your opinion on it?
I haven't been home to actually play it.
yeah, and it is grossly imbalanced.
Oh,
Like,
is
in a
it
good way or a
what is
bad
it
way?
like? I'm curious.
It's
Is it,
half fun and half not.
Oh.
but is it like how Hotline Miami is it? Like what's the crossover
It
here?
is pretty like it feels like as as Hotline Miami as you can probably get in Payday. So there's that.
Is it okay? Is it top down? Is it like the music
no,
there? Like,
no,
what
it's still a
what is
first
it?
person shooter type thing where
Okay.
you have an objective.
Is it just like everything's really fast
So-
now, or like what is it?
Well, the song they have in it or whatever is fantastic because it's very Hotline Miami. The missions are you are looking to find out, I believe, information on where they're keeping Old Hoxton, and you are this Russian guy or whatever is like either holding it from you or holding him or something. So you go and fuck up a bunch of Russians, find out where he is, and then the second day is you go to his like apartment complex and like go to kill him essentially.
Are there like bats? Are you throwing bats at people?
They did
throwing knives.
They added new masks and weapons and all that sort of stuff. One of the weapons is the bat, and there is an achievement for beating down like I think it's 50 mobsters with the bat only, and that gets you like I think the pig mask. I can't remember.
Can you straddle some guy and then punch his face into the ground?
No,
No.
Okay.
you cannot do that. This doesn't actually change the core mechanics of Payday at all. Just
Is
aesthetics.
everything neon?
I don't remember.
I don't believe from what I was seeing that it was.
Okay.
The kind of cool thing about the first mission of that game is it combines a whole bunch of different stuff. Like, there is a part where you blow up a bunch of cars and then, like, a gas station, and then you go find intel on, like, this thing, find intel where this guy's located, and you can cook meth if you want to. Like, there's a bunch of little things in this first day that are really cool. The problem I have with it is that I would have liked some stealth ability at all, because they are both loud missions.
Dude, well, they gotta balance it out. The thing is, like
That's the
Hotline
thing.
Miami, I wouldn't really call it a stealth game. You
wouldn't call it
you
a stealth
can
game.
stealth in it, but most people remember for Hotline Miami like fast-paced Twitch violence.
Sure, but when, like, you were seen, the gangsters would shoot at you, they wouldn't call in 50 cops.
But that's just
That's
Payday.
Payday.
Remember their limitations.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that, and like, if they have to go within the limitations of both games, really. Like, the Hotline Miami thing is really just aesthetics. That's all it is at the end of the day. This is still Payday
Okay.
that we're talking about. So I would have liked, at least if there's two missions, make it at least stealthable in the fact that you can go into, like, this hotel room and shoot the gangsters, and they won't necessarily call the cops or, like, do any of this stuff where you'll get attacked by swarms of people if you kill them right away. because they didn't have the opportunity to, or if you use silent guns and just like snuck through the different motel door, like room doors, and like took them out stealthily, that would have been nice. But instead they went with the minute you start sort of thing, you're just going for both of these 2-day missions.
I don't know. I feel like that's the best way they could have done it.
Maybe. The end of the second day is just kind of annoying too, where you go up to like his penthouse or whatever, he goes into a panic room, and John, you're going to love this. It's another thermal drill mission, so you're waiting for 5 minutes while you're just being attacked by swarms in this tiny apartment from which there are 2 patios on either side that you can be shot at from.
Well, they got to make sure that technicians actually have something to do. Let's be real.
Why?
Because technicians don't have anything to do.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Fuck technicians. Top-down perspective at gmail.com.
We gotta move to these questions. We're getting long. Daniel writes, I picked up Hyrule Warriors on its launch day. Fantastic game. Sean's dumb. But I found it glitching up after a few days. It turns out that I'd actually gotten a faulty copy from a bad shipment. Has anything like this ever happened to you when picking up a new game early in its release? I don't think I've ever had that on like a retail game.
I've had damaged cases and stuff like that. Never really a case of the game itself not working.
Unless it was something that was known by everybody. That like this game like in general for everyone had to be patched.
Sure, yeah, it's something from like it could be patched. That's true. But I've never had like this game's just straight up not working. I need to return it. I don't think I've had that.
Right.
So
me neither.
Cool for Ninja Cat. Hey guys, according to my awesome Lord of the Rings calendar, this past Monday was Thanksgiving in Canada. I was wondering if any of you did anything special to observe the holiday. Being an American, I don't have Thanksgiving until next month.
Yeah, I worked.
I worked too.
I missed the question.
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
I was traveling back from Halifax.
So worked.
None of us did anything.
No. I here's the funny thing. I missed Thanksgiving dinner twice. First off, I missed it because I was in Halifax when my family did it. And then my apartment building decided to do Thanksgiving dinner today.
Oh, okay.
But I missed that because I went to go visit my family.
There you go. I didn't do anything because my family's in Canada. And next month, I won't do anything because I don't care about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's such a non-thing for me.
Yeah, well, not anymore because you're American now. You have to go fight people for Black Friday.
I have to go crazy. I have to go almost die at Black Friday.
I was going to say, we got to put you in the trenches for this one.
That's what you've been training for this whole time in Canada in the cold, rough winters.
Yeah, I can take a beating.
Yeah, you're bred
the cold,
for this
rough
now.
winters that he'll have to deal with in San Francisco.
Yeah, no, it was funny. This last week, one of my coworkers was like, yeah, I hear like this winter we might be getting like the worst winter in history, like blizzards or something. And I just was like, I want to see what a blizzard is like here because I don't think it's going to be anything. And then one of the other guys was like, yeah, we might even get snow.
Oh man.
Obviously they were just joking, but it was just like, this is going to be nothing. I'm going to still be in shorts coming to work.
That's pretty good. Okay, so you did that one. Hank writes, I've been wondering about how we ascribe creative credit to a video game. Director and producer, not executive producer, that's more of an ephemeral role, have responsibilities that can overlap. Even with movie, auteur has come down...
Auteur theory.
Auteur theory, has come down on the side of directors, but depending on the project, that can be inaccurate. I've been thinking about this in terms of Mikami's career, where he directed Resident Evil 1 and 4, but he was a producer on 1, 2, and 3. It's also possible that over time, the titles have been assigned slightly differently. So what are your thoughts on authorship in video games?
I feel like it's more to give a face to the game than anything like...
Well,
it's usually monetarily responsible.
Hang on, his next part of the question is also part of this, so I'll just read that real quick. Mm-hmm. I would say that the easiest and most accurate way is to talk about studios as a whole, but that can only really work over a history with studios that maintain personnel continuity.
Yeah.
Like the way Platinum Games dudes have established an identity working together over their career. If you want to talk about the reason the Evil Within doesn't work and why it's as janky as it is, I would start with Mikami breaking off from those guys and quickly forming his own studio.
Right.
He did that? Oh,
That
yeah,
made
you're
me
right.
immediately think of stuff like, I really love Burnout Paradise. I really love Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
Am I going to get a sequel to those? Well, Criterion basically doesn't exist as that studio anymore, and Rare is certainly not the same people that are going to be that made those games. So it's like, who do I give like my admiration to anymore?
Right.
It comes down to.
Right.
And this is really similar in movies is, the director seems to get a lot of it, or maybe the writer sometimes gets a lot of it, but it's like, there's probably like hundreds of people who touch this, and they don't get much.
And it depends on what you want to say is good about a thing, because you could say that, like, Resident Evil 4 was boring story-wise, but I really liked the dude who worked on the shooting mechanic. It felt really good. So that dude, that's the thing with video games, is that it's all just one package sort of thing, right? Where if you split it up, then you could do that. Otherwise, I think you should just say, yeah, like Grasshopper. Those are the guys. They're good.
I feel like it's kind of a carryover from like the old days of gaming. Like, David Crane's Pitfall, Miyamoto's Super Mario Brothers, stuff like that.
Tom Clancy's everything.
Well, and we still have a bit of that
Tom
now.
Clancy did so much for those games.
with Cliffy B. Like, we still have some faces out there, but
even then, Cliff Bleszinski was like late '90s with like Unreal and Unreal Tournament,
right?
And then Jazz
the point
Jack, like actually even earlier than shit. With
the
Jazz
point
Jack.
I was going with is I think you kind of have to go just to saying the studio. Like, that's the best way to encompass everything.
Yeah,
but yeah, you need to remember that a lot of those people might not be there anymore, and there's not a great way. Like, you just kind of need to, if you're really into a team, follow the people on that team. We have Twitter and stuff. It's a lot easier to do that. Stuff like Double Fine, where they're streaming themselves constantly, or Iron Galaxies, where we're meeting the faces a lot. But then you get into like big studios, and it's like, hey, if I like this Assassin's Creed game, I have no idea where to even start, because Ubisoft is like, what, 3,000 people or something?
Something
like,
insane like
and,
that.
And those and Ubisoft games, the credits are always so long because everyone touches those games.
Yeah.
So eventually it's just like, all I can say is I liked this game. If you worked on it, thanks. But there's no way I can even appreciate you. I like your game.
Yeah.
Would you argue this is kind of like the dissonance between like movies, like how like, oh, this director is known for this work, so like, but like big blockbusters usually don't have a major name like that attached for directors, or like that you would pay attention to.
No, I'd say big blockbusters would too. But again, the issue with that is, being in like a visual effects industry, is I know like hundreds of people will have touched the movie, and they're not getting the praise. It's always the director, always the writer.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks too. It's kind of the same thing. Like, even though we could put Cliff Bleszinski on a pedestal, but he probably only, worked on 1% of that game or whatever.
Well, the thing when you talk about, like, the artistic directors and stuff specifically is that they are the ones that say, you have to do this better. Like, they are putting their name on it because they have a style. Like, with Shinji Mikami specifically, the reason he gets the credit for, like, how the game is, not how it plays, but, like, should be or look or, like, play through the story or whatever, is because he has put his hand into these type of situations before, saying, no, this has to be like this has to be like this. Like, he is the one taking full responsibility of that, whereas the people working under him are just putting an extra lighting fixture in this hallway or something. He's the one with the grand scheme things, right? But yeah, I don't know, it's a little bit harder when there are the bigger studios like that, because there's not just the Shinji Mikami. You have maybe 10 people like that overseeing like 10 different little groups, each one doing the same job, but for the greater picture. I don't know. It's a weird, like, convoluted thing.
Or like another way of looking at it is when teams, like when a studio kind of has a feel, and regardless of if the people are moving, the studio tries to maintain it. And examples of that come to mind is Platinum Games. I feel they have like they have a feeling to their games. They're always, crazy and silly and weird and colorful, or what's this team that did Explosion Man?
Oh, that's Twisted Pixel.
Yeah.
Twisted Pixel. They totally have a feeling to their games. Like,
Yeah.
you know that next game there's going to be these elements in that game because you know a Twisted Pixel game. Behemoth is similar to that too.
Sure.
And then I'll think on a smaller scale, like Swery 65. You know,
Sure.
I know a Swery 65 game, but at the same time, I watch those credits for D4, and like there's like 4 dozen people on there who I've never heard of before. Who, you know, Swery 65 is just titled as like a director, but there's also like art director and project director, and it's like, well, what did those guys? Those guys clearly had a huge point too, but I just see Swery so much more out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard. I guess my advice would be, you know, if you're really liking a game, or if you like several games from a studio, try to find the people behind it. You know, follow them on Twitter and stuff. That's all I can really say. And it's easier on a smaller team, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard in movies too. Like I said, hundreds of people touch movies, and we hear about the director or whatever.
I guess it's also different when you consider, like, Hideo Kojima is part of Kojima Productions. Like, his name is right there. So, I don't know.
Right.
Okay, last question, is this?
Yeah, it's 3-parter.
Oh, okay. From Comet, since Sean has finished Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, at least I'm pretty sure he has based on his tweets, and having beaten and enjoyed it myself, I want to ask him some questions about it without spoiling significant anything for others, of course.
Yeah, I read them. He doesn't spoil anything.
Okay. So, number 1, do you think the game was too easy? I've seen some complaints about lax difficulty, but I felt it kept the game going at a good, steady pace.
Actually, yes, I did feel that. The puzzles were far easier than I was used to. I felt that was maybe because this game was trying to cater to, you know, Phoenix Wright fans, and maybe they wanted to tone it down a bit. But I was barely using hint coins, and I don't think I ever failed a puzzle. So, yeah.
Okay, number 2, did the game peak too early for you? Because I enjoyed the entire game, but I strongly feel the second last trial is the best.
Second last trial. I'm trying to think which one that would be.
It's the one with that thing and something.
Yep, there you go.
I'd say the first half is definitely when like the craziest stuff happens, but that's because we still don't know anything about like solving the mystery. So of course that's when the craziest stuff happens.
Sure.
Hang on, I think I know which trial they're talking about. I'm just trying to double check if there's anything in between that and the last one. And I don't, and I believe the second last trial is the best one because the ending of that is bananas.
Okay, and number 3, have you checked out the free epilogue DLC and concept art?
No, I didn't know there was epilogue DLC, but that's real exciting, and thank you for informing me. I'm going to do that.
I'm sure you'll chat about it next week anyway, so.
I'll try and get that in there.
All right. I guess.
All right, that was it for questions, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it for this week. Again, topdownperspective@gmail.com, twitter.com/TDP podcast, and facebook.com/topdownperspective. Look it up. I don't remember what it is. I think it's just /topdownperspective. So
that's what it is.
There you go.
Game of the week, guys.
Well, I've got so many to choose from.
You played 2.
Yeah, but I only started playing it technically when I sat down for the podcast, so I'm not going to count Hyrule Warriors. I'm going to say Smash.
Sean?
The game that you're tired of, that you're done with.
Well, no, good. Like the multiplayer is still fun. It's just the single player is just a slog at this point.
Mine goes to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
And Alien Isolation, 100%.
Oh, I thought it was going to Dragon's Crown.
There is no way it's going to Dragon's Crown with Alien Isolation on that list.
Okay, all right, great.
You're giving me hope for picking up Alien Isolation next week.
Well, you could download it for free off my thing.
And hey, I'm giving you hope for Layton versus Phoenix Wright this week. Yeah, great, good. You're welcome. You will be so happy that you started that game.
And we're giving everybody hope because we're done for tonight. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we're done.
Go live your lives.
See you later, guys.